Shifa Medical Complex, 2023. Lena was a journalist who had come to Gaza to cover the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. She had seen many horrors and tragedies in her career, but nothing prepared her for what she witnessed in Gaza. She had seen the destruction of homes and schools, the deaths of children and civilians, the suffering of the wounded and the displaced. She had also seen the resilience and courage of the people, who refused to give up hope and dignity. She had been staying at a hotel near the Shifa Medical Complex, the largest hospital in Gaza, which had become a refuge for thousands of people. She had visited the hospital several times and had interviewed some of the doctors, nurses, and patients there. She had learned that the hospital was under constant threat of attack by Israel, who accused Hamas of using it as a military base. She had also learned that the hospital was struggling to cope with the influx of casualties and the lack of supplies and equipment. One day, as she was preparing to go to the hospital again, she met a young boy named Omar, who lived in the hotel with his mother. Omar was curious about Lena's work and asked her to show him her camera and notebook. Lena liked Omar and decided to take him with her to the hospital, hoping to give him a glimpse of hope and humanity. Omar was excited to see the hospital and wanted to meet the doctors and patients. He told Lena that he wanted to be a doctor when he grows up and help his people. When they arrived at the hospital, they saw a group of children playing in the courtyard. They were wearing colorful masks and costumes and singing songs. Lena learned that they were part of a theater group organized by a local NGO that performed for the patients and staff. The group was called the Children of Gaza, and their motto was "We are not afraid." Lena was touched by their spirit and decided to interview them for her story. She asked Omar to join them, and he happily agreed. He put on a mask and a cape and joined the children in their play. As Lena was interviewing the children, she heard a loud siren. She looked up and saw a jet fighter flying over the hospital. She felt a surge of fear and instinctively grabbed Omar and pulled him close to her. She told him to stay calm and that everything will be okay. She looked around and saw the other children running towards the hospital entrance, followed by their teacher. She told Omar to run with them and that she will be right behind him. She took out her camera and tried to capture the jet fighter on film. She hoped that this will be evidence of Israel's violation of international law and that it will bring attention to the plight of Gaza. As Omar was running towards the hospital, he saw a bright flash of light. He felt a shockwave and heard a deafening sound. He fell to the ground and felt a sharp pain in his chest. He looked down and saw blood pouring out of his body. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. He looked up and saw Lena running towards him. She looked terrified, and tears were streaming down her face. She reached him and knelt down beside him. She held him in her arms and tried to stop the bleeding. She told him that he was brave and that he will be okay. She told him that she loves him and that he is her hero. She told him to hold on and that help is coming. She told him to close his eyes and to think of something beautiful. She told him to think of Gaza, and Gaza only. She did not notice the drone hovering above her, or the missile that was launched at her. She did not hear the sound of the second explosion, or feel the pain of the blast. She did not see the flash of light, or the darkness that followed. She only saw the faces of the people she had met at the hospital, and the words she had written in her notebook. She only saw Gaza, and Gaza only.